Welcome to the Suffolk Walking Festival podcast, where we guide you around the footpaths and bridleways of Suffolk to discover what makes this county so very, very special. I'm David Falk, the director of the Suffolk Walking Festival, and in each episode of this podcast, I'll be meeting someone who shares our passion for walking in Suffolk. In this episode, I'm in the heart of Suffolk at Thornham Walks for a twilight walk with wildlife and nature enthusiast Jon Tyler. Jon, thanks for joining us on the Suffolk Walking Festival podcast.
Thank you for inviting me, David.
Now, I introduced you in the introduction as a wildlife enthusiast. Is that an apt sort of description, would you say?
I think so, yeah. Wildlife and nature enthusiast,
Yes.
yeah.
You have a really deep knowledge of wildlife and nature, don't you?
On some things, I like to explore things. I like the sort of the intrigue of finding out things.
Yes.
But I wouldn't say I was an expert, but definitely an enthusiast.
And tell us what you actually do as a job.
I lead guided walks and activities, lots of what I would term hedgecraft, which is making things but fairly quick makes. So rather than sort of traditional country crafts, I make things, easy things that you can do quite quickly.
Yeah, and things that you would make from what things you find in the woods and stuff.
Utilising.
We'll get a few of those tonight.
Yeah, we will. So just so things we find along the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of nature play, if you like.
Yes.
So trying to encourage people to look at things, to experience things, sort of tactile approach.
And things they can make and take home with them, I suppose.
Make and take home, and sort of experiencing places they already know, perhaps, but in a slightly different way. As often we go on a walk and we're so focused on the destination that we kind of lose sort of where we're going. We don't get enough of the experience of the actual the journey itself.
Yeah, and the events you do those all over East Anglia?
I do, mainly Suffolk and Norfolk, but occasionally further afield as well.
Including here at Thornham Walks.
The beautiful Thornham Walks, yes.
Which is where we are. So, and we're going to go on a sort of twilight walk, aren't we?
Twilight adventure.
A twilight adventure. It's getting better by the minute. Oh, I just heard an owl.
Yes, that was a tawny owl.
Now we're standing overlooking a field where it looks a perfect habitat for a barn owl or something. This does, doesn't it? It
does, yeah. It's the kind of place they'd like to hunt.
And there's
margins.
A magnificent old tree there.
It's a dead oak, isn't it? But it's
absolutely stunning.
It's like stag's horn.
I'm intrigued by this transition period we're in now. We're moving from daylight really into darkness now. It's sort of in that half light. What are the sort of subtle changes really as you go from day to night that you observe?
Oh, that was an interesting noise.
What was that? Was that a muntjac?
I think it might have been, yeah.
Barking.
Yeah, so it's got cooler.
It has, hasn't
It's also got damper as well, so there's more moisture in the air, so the air is heavier, and so you can see your breath and the air gathers in pockets. And because the air's heavier as well, the sound travels more and there's less other sounds around, so what we do hear is louder and more resonant because the air is heavier. And you get some strange effects of nighttime as well. You get this kind of, there's a sound reflection thing going on with the atmosphere where you can get sounds that are quite a lot further away. They kind of get bounced off.
Okay.
And then you hear things further away and you lose the colour. The night world is a monochrome place. You suddenly notice the shapes of things, so you lose texture but gain sort of the collage sort of effect of things.
Now, what about the wildlife? That changes as well. We heard a muntjac. I think you see muntjacs in the daytime, but I guess some animals become more active in the evening.
Yeah, there's a number of species that kind of like the dawn and dusk.
Yeah.
And there's a number of species that inhabit that time primarily. And then a lot of things that are hunting them, the predators, will be around at that time as well. So foxes are sort of well known for that, is that they want to do is catch their prey both when it's going out and then when it's coming back again.
Right, I see.
So and that's the time sort of between dawn and dusk. Most animals are nocturnal, or at least more nocturnal. So I think it's about 80% of animals are nocturnal.
Oh, right, that much? I had no idea.
So we see only a fraction of them during the day. Most of our mammals are much more active at night.
Like badgers, for example. Yes.
I mean, the squirrel is the only one that's wild animal that's quite easy to find during the day.
Yes.
Rabbits as well a bit, but hares as well.
Hares, yes.
But but everything else tends to be much more night based.
You've done this quite a few times, these twilight walks and walking at night. Have you had some sort of interesting or magical wildlife encounters?
There's quite a few. There's a number of things. One that really stands out was I had an encounter with a badger, and it was a really old badger. I knew it must have been quite old because I think it might have been blind, because it didn't know I was there. It was in front of me and the wind was blowing towards me, so it couldn't smell me.
What were you just standing, were you?
I was in a woodland, and I heard it shuffling around, and I stopped still, and it wandered a sort of across and in front of me, and then I just followed it, and there was this old badger, and the hairs were quite grey as well.
Oh,
so
really?
It looked pretty old, and it was
a bit like us, John.
I wasn't going to say anything. But and it was sort of shambling along, and it seemed pretty oblivious of me, actually. So I was able to follow it for 5-10 minutes.
That must have been magical.
It was amazing.
Yeah, just to see it like that.
Sort of grunting as it went along. That was quite a nice encounter, and it was like this, actually. It wasn't quite night time. Like, there was still just enough light to be able to see. So watching the badger. The other one that really stands out is with tawny owls.
Yes.
And tawny owls, they have different calls. They have a sort of recognition social call, then they have the territorial call, which we know.
Was that the twit-twoo one?
Yeah,
right, okay.
So the social call, I try and do it, is more of a ee! That kind of thing.
That sounds just like... No, I've heard that many times. I came out of a pub once, actually, and there was a tawny owl in the tree, and making that exact noise. And is that the territorial one?
That's social call, apparently.
Social. Okay, yes. So if you hear that, they're just chatting to one another, as it were.
So it's more of a recognition call, and and I think it's a kind of I'm not a threat sort of call,
right,
as far as I know. And then, of course, the woo is the territorial call.
Right, so that's trying to say what? Get off, get away.
Yeah, and also when they're sort of searching for mates as well, there's a territorial call. Males do it a lot. Females do it too, because they also have territories.
Yeah.
And I seem to think, from my experience, the younger ones don't tend to do it quite so well.
Okay.
So often they feel like their voice is breaking a bit. There's a kind of
teenager. Excellent.
So they're sort of practicing it. So usually when it's really crisp and clear, it's a mature adult doing the call.
I see.
But also, they do another call as well, which is when they're getting together in the breeding season. The males and females will sing a duet together, and it's kind of like a trill, and it's very quiet, and you have to be quite close. I've only ever heard it twice.
Gosh.
So, but that was pretty amazing.
That must be amazing.
Yeah.
Magical, isn't it? Absolutely magical.
To be gate crashing their date. Oh, a peacock.
Peacocks. They've obviously got a big population or a very loud peacock.
two that like to call
very loud. Are there changes as you go through the year?
So there are definitely seasonal patterns, and bats obviously. Bats hibernate over the winter. You tend to get bats a lot of activity from sort of spring into the autumn, and then they tend to disappear a bit, unless it's a really mild evening, and then they might crop up again.
Okay.
And then things like lots of birds, so nightingales in the springtime, and then you get nightjars more in the sort of early summer as well.
Yeah.
And then the owls, spring and autumn is their busy time, and glowworms will be mostly July and August. You can see the juveniles, the young glowworms, most of the year, but to see the really bright females, it's usually July and August.
Now, I have been on a walk with you where we saw glowworms. It's the first time and the only time I've ever seen glowworms, and it was magical. And it was one of those experiences where once you'd seen one, you started to see more and more and more. Your eyes got sort of attuned to it. Tell us, what exactly is a glowworm?
So a glowworm is an insect, so it's a beetle.
So it's not a worm.
So it's not a worm, no. But it's a species of beetle that produces two chemicals, which when they're mixed together produce this phosphorescent light, which is a sort of a form of bioluminescent, and it's green. And it's like a tiny green LED, light emitting diode. It's very small. You used to have it on things like remote controls. You'd have an LED light on it, and it looks a bit like that. It's
like when you're charging your phone and it's fully charged. The red light goes to green.
That's right, yes, and it would be the green light that you're looking for. They are very delicate and beautiful, and it's a very pale light, and it's a sort of ethereal, unearthly light as well. So it's something that makes you think of the sort of the fairy world and magic. So there's a pipistrelle just flying around. Oh, there it is. There, it's just going round the pond.
Oh yeah. Is that early for it to come out? Or is that the night?
That's just about right. Just after sunset.
Yeah.
So it's,
what would this be? Your thing's saying number 57.
57. So that's 57 kilohertz.
Okay.
So that human hearing goes up to about 17, 18 kilohertz, something like that. And so this is ultrasound, and what the bat box is doing, the bat detector, is it's translating the ultrasound into a frequency, an audible sound that we can hear.
Yeah.
And it's a series of clicks and patterns. And what we're hearing is the bat shouting, basically, and listening to the echoes in order to work out where things are, how far away they are, and also roughly what they're made of.
So it can tell by the echo what it is?
Yeah, it can tell quite a lot of information from the ultrasound pulse. And then what it'll do is, when it wants to focus in on something, when it wants to get more detail, it will send out more pulses. And oh, there we go, we just heard it. Yeah, when it goes zzz, that is it honing in on something, usually catching an insect. They will be shouting out up to around 200 times per second when they're actually trying to catch something.
Wow.
So it's a very rapid frequency.
We're standing just next to a pond. I just saw it there, actually. Is it because of the pond that it's here? Is it catching insects above the water? Yeah,
so the bats will go where the insects are, and of course this time of year around ponds there's going to be a lot of insect life, lots of midges and mosquitoes, so there's a number of bats now. We've got several here. Yeah.
Whoa, right over our head.
Yeah, there it goes.
Right over our head.
So, yeah, it's really going for it, and they're catching lots of things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see there's more than one now.
But luckily for us that they do use ultrasound, because they actually shout really loud. The actual noise they make is between 120 and 140 decibels.
Okay, that's
loud. It is loud. It's loud as loud as a jet engine.
No way.
Yeah. But because it's above the frequency we can hear, we don't notice it at all.
Right.
So yeah, and the reason for that is that the sound does not travel very far in air, so they have to be really loud in order for the pulses to travel some distance.
See.
There we go. And they're catching lots of things. Obviously having a good night tonight.
Is this a good night for it? Because it's incredibly calm.
It's quite still, yeah.
Very still. There's no wind.
Not too cold.
No, and incredibly clear sky now.
Ooh, multiple bats there.
Multiple bats, yeah.
Yeah, so there's lots of insects around. Because we've had quite cold, damp weather, the insects haven't been coming out at night, so the bats are trying to sort of almost make up for lost time, really. These pipistrelles are after smaller insects, but some of the bigger bats will be after things like moths.
Okay.
And some moths can actually produce their own ultrasound pulses to jam the bat signal. So the bats will then shift frequency in order to be able to still hone in on the moths.
I love the combination of the blackbird and the bat detector.
Yeah. So we've got the sort of the blackbird singing mournfully of the passing of the daytime, and then the bats kind of chattering away at the prospect of night, isn't it? It's kind of the crossover from the day shift to the night shift.
Was that what I thought it was?
What?
Barn owl?
Yes, I think it was a barn owl, yeah. Silent assassins.
Absolutely silent. Gone off into the distance.
They do, I mean, owls do have feathers which are super soft.
Yeah.
So that they can fly silently. But it's actually not in order to surprise things. It's to stop them deafening themselves when they're flying, because their ears are super sensitive, and to help protect their hearing, they have silent flight so that they don't deafen themselves when they're flying.
It didn't make a single sound, did it? It was amazing.
No. Oh, I just saw a flash.
I saw a flash.
That was, I think that was an iridium. Oh, there's a bat.
So we've had a barn owl, a bat, flying around our heads.
A flash. I think
what
that
was the flash?
The flash was I think that's iridium flare.
What's that?
There's a network of satellites which are being decommissioned, which are called the iridium satellites, and they have, I think they're either very shiny or they have solar panels.
Was that it burning up in the atmosphere or something? No,
I think it's a solar panel, or the body of the satellite catches the sun.
I see.
So, and it flashes.
That's what we just saw.
Yeah, and you can see them during the day as well, if you know where to look.
We're now the day after a full moon. I read somewhere, was it a blood moon or something?
Each month has its own full moon, and each full moon has its own name, depending on which month it's in.
Oh, I see.
April's full moon was a supermoon.
Supermoon, yeah.
Which means it's closer, and I think it's 10% larger, because the moon kind of varies at the distance that it is from the Earth. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's a bit closer, sometimes it's a bit further away. And I think when it's at its closest point, it's about 10% bigger than when it's at its furthest away point. Oh, look, there's a satellite just going over there.
Yes.
There it is. That's not the International Space Station, no, it's not bright enough.
Not bright enough, right. It's just quite faint, isn't it? It's sort of a little pinprick of light. It's just moving across the sky in a dead straight line.
And the silence as well, that they just glide across. And then there it goes, it's fading now.
Yes, it's fading away, look at that. Gently going away.
So that means it's passing into the shadow.
Are there good places in East Anglia to see the night sky?
There's a number of sites in East Anglia. There are even dark sky discovery sites in east of England. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think Rendlesham Forest might be a dark sky discovery site. I know that there's several on the North Norfolk coast. Yeah. And some in the Broads as well. I would have thought that places like Thetford Forest, so around there would be very, very good for dark skies. But East Anglia in general, as long as you're away from the large towns, you're going to get pretty good views.
Good skies, yeah.
It's possible to see the Aurora Borealis, the northern lights on the North Norfolk coast.
That's quite far south, isn't it, for that, or not?
It can be seen even further south.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it in the New Forest.
Well, that's very far south.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it was amazing.
Wow. And what was it like when you saw it? What was it? Just colour in the sky, or
it was like a curtain of colour, and it was just rippling.
What colour was it?
It was green and red.
Gosh.
So at first, because where I was in the New Forest was pretty dark, I thought it was a fire.
Yeah, yeah,
because there was this flickering in the sky, and I thought it was a reflection of a fire in the forest.
Right.
And I got to a ridge to overlook, and then when I got to the ridge and there was a clear sky, I could see it was the Northern Lights.
Good
And I
grief.
phoned everyone I knew to tell them to go and see if they could see it.
We've been to Scotland and
Yes.
and not seen it easily with our naked eye, but we took night photos on a very long exposure. And captured the Milky Way. I was trying to photograph the stars actually, captured the Milky Way. And when we looked at the photograph afterwards, we noticed the horizon was all green.
Oh, right. So you
We couldn't see it with our naked eye.
Right, yeah,
Well, not
so-
really.
yes,
Yeah.
cameras
They
you get
caught
better
it.
pictures.
And it was quite, extraordinary to look at the photo afterwards and think,
You'd witnessed it, but,
Yeah,
but
but
without
not.
realising it.
John, if somebody wanted to do a night walk, have you got any top tips about doing it?
So yeah, I think the first thing is to go somewhere you know really well,
Yeah.
because you want to be walking and you want to be comfortable with where you're walking, and know you're not going to get lost. If possible, somewhere with quite flat, even paths, so somewhere where it's going to be fairly easy to walk around. Going with somebody else as well, it's safer, and in a sense it's more fun as well, because it's nice to share experiences as well, and more pairs of eyes looking.
Is there any special kit that you would recommend?
Obviously a torch,
Yeah.
but the secret is to try not to use it. I mean, I've got about 4 torches on me now, but they're there really for sort of if you suddenly feel that you've got lost, or you drop something and you need to find it. So yeah, and I would say that don't have the torch in your hand. You can get red light torches now, sort of torches with red filters, and red filters means it doesn't affect your night vision as much.
Okay.
But it still affects it, and I try, when I go for a night walk, this is why it's important to go to a place you know, is I try not to use a torch at all, so that your eyes adjust to the dark, and you get a different experience. If you walk around with a torch, you tend to look where the torch shines.
Yeah.
And what happens is it makes everything much darker, which means you don't see as much. So
Well, it's interesting you said, because it's gone 10 o'clock, and we can see quite well. I mean, I know it's a clear night, but the moon hasn't risen up. It's not like we've got full moon light or anything like that, but actually you can see quite easily to wander around without the need of a torch at all. And there is something a little bit more special about looking at everything in this light. It's everything, as you said earlier, it's all subdued and it's just shapes and
sort of ethereal. It's kind of like ghostly, isn't it? You lose so you can't really see the branches, but you can see the sort of mass of the leaves, and that's what creates the sort of patterns. But you can't see the tips of the branches either. So it's good to walk more slowly as well.
probably safer.
To avoid things. Yeah. Other than the torch,
warm clothes,
yeah. Binoculars can be pretty useful at night, actually. If you get a pair that have got large lenses, so they let in more light, then it's surprising what you can see.
Use them.
Yeah, and of course for the stars as well. Binoculars kind of give you access to a lot more stars, so you see much more the detail in the sky.
Your fascination with the natural environment, is that something you've always had since you were young?
My parents weren't that much into nature, so they went out a lot. We sort of went for walks in the country, but they didn't know that much. And I think it's partly from films and television, actually. It's things like Bagpuss and Watership Down had a really powerful effect on me as a child. Yeah, so and just that sort of magic of nature.
And have you always worked in this environment as well, with nature and countryside and walks and guided walks?
I started off doing wildlife surveys. Ended up sort of talking to the plants, because I'd spend hours not seeing anyone, and then I kind of got into, by mistake actually, I got into environmental education with a county wildlife trust, And it went from there really, and I've done quite a lot of environmental education, and then more into sort of guided walks and a little bit of foraging and hedgecraft, making things as well. So, and I've kind of gone from the West Country where I grew up across to East Anglia. So I studied at Otley College of Agriculture, and then back to the New Forest.
Did you? Right.
Yeah. So I worked in the New Forest for 3 years, and then back to Suffolk to do a project with Suffolk Wildlife Trust. And so I've sort of been in and around East Anglia sort of ever since then. Oh, it's an owl calling. Yeah. Should we go?
Yeah,
go
let's
a little further in.
see if we can get closer to it.
There we go.
So that's to our left,
Yeah.
and the other call was to our right.
So that is a recognition call flying over. Oh, and that's a territorial call. Ooh. Yeah.
Do you think it attracted it towards it, or?
There's definitely something going on there.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the other thing about night walking. Your senses change, don't they? You're not using your eyes as much. You're hearing things differently, I think, and smelling, and the other senses come to the fore a bit.
Yeah, because our vision is reduced, we become more aware of the sort of our other senses, and because there's less sounds to hear than what sounds there are, we tend to focus on much more. Whereas during the day, because there's so many different sounds, we sort of screen out most of it.
Yeah.
And of course, because the air is damper, the smells linger, so you're more aware of the feeling of the air as well, because the damper air is heavy, and you can feel it on your skin, and the cold and warm spots as well become more obvious. So yeah, so it's kind of, you're sort of more immersed in a sensory world at night.
Now, what's that right above us?
I'm just trying to get a handle on it.
Would that be a planet?
I think if it is a planet, it would have to be Mars.
Yeah.
If it's a planet. The trouble is, at the moment, there's not enough stars for me to... Oh, another bat. It could be a star. That could be Arcturus.
Right.
Which is one of our brightest 3 stars in the northern sky. Venus, I think, is maximum magnitude is about -4. Jupiter is about -2. So a minus magnitude means it's really bright.
Yeah.
And then it goes from minus to plus. So things like Sirius, which is the brightest star, I think is about -1.8.
Yeah.
International Space Station is about -3.9 when it flies over. So yeah, I'm going to say it's Arcturus.
Arcturus.
Which is in the constellation of Bootes, who is a boatman.
Yeah.
So most of our constellations are from Greek mythology, and there's sort of stories behind them all, really.
Now, I have seen the space station, but that's extraordinary when you see that just sort of gently going across the
just gliding across the sky,
yes,
isn't it?
Little white dot. In fact, I remember doing a walk with you, John, when you knew it was going to happen, and we were in a group, and you stopped us at the exact right time, and you said to everyone, "Look up," and we all looked up, and there it was going overhead.
Yeah, that
was well planned.
That worked out very well. That one, yeah, yeah.
There's a quick call to NASA.
So yeah, there's lots of apps, phone apps these days, and you can find out all kinds of things, and you can track satellites across the sky. The one I use is Heavens Above, but there are others as well.
Yeah.
And it will show you. You can have a live map which shows you what satellites are in the sky at that moment.
Wow.
And where they are, so you can see them. So that is the International Space Station, and it's quite slow. It glides across the sky.
It's really bright.
Yeah.
Wow, look at it, it's just moving really gently.
It's a real kind of graceful glide across, and there's people in it, isn't there? There's 4 or 5 people in there.
Is there?
Yeah. Yeah, it's always occupied. And where are they now? They're probably over Germany. Which way they're heading? Southeast. So yeah, maybe over Central Europe. That one just flashed at me. There's another satellite that just flashed coming over.
Oh yeah, I see that moving really fast actually.
Mars is the only planet in the solar system that's occupied solely by robots. So yeah, so it's the robot world.
I love that. The only planet inhabited by robots.
Just purely by robots. Yeah.
Jon, thank you so much for this twilight, night walk almost, isn't it?
Well, we're now in the night, aren't we? So we've transitioned from dusk into the night.
And we should thank Thornham Estate actually for giving us permission to do this podcast. Yes. We're not normally allowed to wander around in the evenings like this. So thank you to the Thornham Estate for giving us permission to walk around and do this podcast. It's been absolutely magical. Jon, thanks so much for this. It's nearly 10:30, I think, actually. So time's whizzed by, but it's been absolutely magical. Thank you very much.
Thanks. That's right. Thank you, David. It's been a pleasure to be out here with you.
Thanks, Jon.
Thank you.
The Suffolk Walking Festival is one of the country's largest and longest running walking festivals. The festival takes place every May with over 100 walks and countryside events across the county. Visit suffolkwalkingfestival.co.uk for more information and follow us on Facebook for up-to-date news. Thank you to David Stainer and Scott Dolling of the duo Silbury Hill for the use of their music in this podcast.